This is my Troybilt Bronco tiller. Now I've had this quite a while, but it came with a Briggs & Stratton motor on it. And over the years I gradually wore that motor out. And when I went to, my theory was I was going to overhaul this motor. Well, then I find out that that Briggs & Stratton is one of those, consumer grade kind of disposable motors, where it's aluminum cylinder with no liner. It was just worn out and there was really no repairing it. So I started thinking, okay, what am I going to put a motor in? I was going to kind of cobble something together out of other motors that I have. But then I got to looking around and I decided, I really like the tiller. It's a shaft drive. They use a worm gear. They're just a really well-made tiller. And I really like the rear tine aspect of it. Before this, I had one of the front tine ones, and they just beat the snot out of you. And when these Broncos came, they had either a Briggs & Stratton or a Tecumseh. And neither, the good Briggs, the industrial Briggs, yeah, that'd be okay. But, like I say, the one that came on there was a consumer grade. And they're, like I say, a disposable motor. So I decided, in the end, to go with a Honda motor, because Honda just makes really good motors. Though you do have to be a little careful in that, since there's so many consumer grade motors out there, Honda actually does make a line of consumer grade. But if you go with the GX motors, they're the commercial industrial motor that has the cast iron cylinder sleeve and the ball bearings on the crankshaft. So they're a great motor. They've got a hell of a reputation. They've been around for a long time, but they've always been a really good motor. I don't know why they cut corners and put that. Because even a commercial grade Briggs is a good motor. The industrial one. But that consumer one, I use a tiller way too much to try to run one of them. Anyway, these industrial grade motors are around, I see them listed at around 400. For this is the 200cc, which it gives you, it's really like a 196, but gives you around 6 horse. They make a whole series of these, but this particular one, this GX 200, bolted right on, exactly perfectly right. There was, it's even tapped with the standard threads on the mounting plates and stuff. It bolted exactly like the other one bolted on, so it was no big deal to put it on. Nice, quiet, smooth running motor. Easy starting, and just very well built. Like I say, this is around $300 from Northern Tool. Now, if you're not familiar with Northern Tool, everybody buys stuff at Harbor Freight, and that is all pure Chinese junk. Now, a whole step above them is Northern Tool. They will sell some of the lower grade Chinese stuff, but they also carry a higher range of stuff, which is like the Honda motors. I really like them. They're a lot better outfit than, I don't buy anything at Harbor Freight, but I do buy quite a little at Northern Tool, because they've got the higher quality stuff that I like. They handle Husqvarna stuff and steel stuff, but they're only dealing with your, the consumer grade. I don't think they carry any of the pro models. But they are like a steel dealer. And Husqvarna, I think they do a lot of the Husqvarna refurbished stuff, and I think the steel stuff too. I think they handle a lot of the refurbished stuff, which can be a pretty good deal sometimes. But I like to go with the commercial industrial stuff if you've got a choice. It's just much better. Like for half the price of this, I could have got the Chinese knockoff of this. Well, my problem with that Chinese stuff, all of those Chinese motors, although they have the metallurgy down, it's the all this stuff that bolts onto the motor that falls apart. Like the muffler's going to rust out right away. The carburetor's going to just vibrate apart. The fuel tank's going to rust out. That's the stuff that's really cheaply built. The motors themselves are pretty solid units. They usually don't go bad. It's all the surrounding stuff that falls apart. They're just an aggravation. I've got a water pump that has one of them Chinese motors on it, and I'm actually going to switch that out to one of the Honda motors because the pump itself is good, the motor is garbage. But even like your fuel tank, it's a double wall. They got this real heavy. It's not all that cheap plastic stuff. It's metal. They're just a good solid motor. And the good thing that Northern Tool, they're constantly sending out these coupons, where you get so much off. Like for $100, you get $20 off, that kind of deal. Because I got a bargain on this, from using one of them coupons. They're a pretty good outfit. I do like them. You get a reasonable price on stuff. Like that disc that I was pulling behind the David Bradley, that came from Northern Tool. You're just, like I say, a step above Harbor Freight. It's actually a very good store. But, like I say, you've got a range of stuff. But if you stay toward the high range, you're getting some really good quality stuff. But this will give a whole new life to this tiller. Because, like I say, the basic tiller unit, excellent, works perfect for me. It's nice because you can stand to the side and run them with one hand, so you're not walking on the area where you're tilling. They'll just kind of fluff this stuff up. I've always been happy with the way that works, compared to, like I say, the old front tine ones that just beat the snot out of you. So it's a good tiller, and now it's got a good motor on it. So I'm very pleased with that for $300, can't go wrong. And like I say, this motor bolted exactly on there. It was just really impressive. But that's an upgrade. And honestly, that greatly increases the value of the tiller. If you were to go to sell the tiller, having a Honda motor on there, having a Honda motor on anything, at an auction sale, it like doubles the value of the thing. They're just a really good motor. And, like I say, the Harbor Freight, the Chinese motors, that doesn't impress me. But the Honda motors, they impress me. And Northern Tool's got a good selection. And I don't know, how common the Northern Tool stores are, but you can buy them online too. I ran into some and got this one because I had to get some other stuff, but that's a pretty good deal. And it's going to make my life a lot easier.